Hello, health champions. Many older adults have reported benefits from using apple cider vinegar, ranging from better digestion to modest weight loss and even improved blood sugar control. But now, more and more people, especially seniors, are experimenting with mixing apple cider vinegar with baking soda, hoping to get the best of both worlds. Today, I want to explore this topic deeply, not only by looking at the individual benefits of each ingredient, but by helping you understand what truly happens inside your body when the two are combined. This is especially important if you're over 60 and looking for natural, safe ways to support your health. Coming right up. Hey, I'm Dr. Thomas, a holistic health educator and a passionate advocate for senior wellness. If you want to truly master your health by understanding how your body works, not just treating symptoms, then be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss what matters most. Now, when we talk about apple cider vinegar and baking soda, we have to start with something fundamental: pH. That's what defines the unique properties of both substances. Baking soda is alkaline with a pH around 9.5, while apple cider vinegar is acidic with a pH near 2.5. But what does that mean for your digestion, your metabolism, and your long-term health, especially as you age? Let's take a closer look. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Should seniors use apple cider vinegar? As the years pass and our bodies evolve with age, the small changes in digestion, energy, and resilience often speak volumes. For many seniors, the stomach no longer responds the way it once did. That hearty meal that used to sit just right now brings discomfort, bloating, or an unsettling burn. It's easy to dismiss it as just getting older, but the reality runs deeper, and perhaps the solution does too. Apple cider vinegar, ACV, often praised in wellness circles, has been used for centuries, not as a miracle cure, but as a natural aid for a body that's slowing down. What makes it especially meaningful for seniors is that our stomach acid naturally declines with age. This is not often talked about, but by the time many of us reach our 60s, our stomachs are producing significantly less hydrochloric acid than in younger years. And yet, that acid is crucial. It's what breaks down protein, helps us absorb minerals like calcium, iron, and magnesium, and defends us from harmful bacteria in our food. Without it, we don't just digest less efficiently, we absorb less of what keeps us strong. This is where ACV enters the picture, not as a trend, but as a thoughtful support. When taken in small diluted amounts, say a teaspoon or two in a glass of water before meals, ACV mimics the acidity of a healthy stomach, giving the body a helpful nudge toward better digestion. It can ease the burden on a weakened digestive system, help nutrients get absorbed more efficiently, and even support the natural balance of bacteria in the gut, an often overlooked key to immune health and mental clarity. But the story of ACV doesn't end in the stomach. As it travels through the digestive tract, the acetic acid in vinegar is eventually transformed into acetate, a short-chain fatty acid. And this transformation matters. Acetate isn't just a byproduct, it's fuel for your gut lining and for the good bacteria that help regulate metabolism, support brain health, and reduce inflammation. For seniors dealing with blood sugar issues, weight gain, or fatigue, this gentle metabolic support may offer benefits that extend far beyond the dinner table. Of course, ACV isn't a cure-all. It's acidic, and must always be diluted properly to avoid irritation to the throat or stomach lining. But when used with care and understanding, it becomes less of a trend and more of a tool, one that respects the body's natural processes and supports its quiet needs. So, is apple cider vinegar right for you? If you felt your digestion slow, if your energy dips after meals, or if you simply want to support your body in a gentle, natural way, the answer might just be yes. But before you rush to mix up your first glass, there's another side to the story. What happens when ACV is combined with baking soda? Does it amplify the benefits or cancel them out completely? The answer might surprise you. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Is baking soda safe for seniors? In the quiet routines of daily life, many seniors turn to simple home remedies, often ones passed down through generations, for relief from common discomforts. One of the most familiar is baking soda. A pinch in water, a quick stir, and that burning sensation in the chest, the sting of heartburn, fades if only for a moment. It feels harmless. After all, baking soda has been in our kitchens and medicine cabinets for decades. But what few people talk about is what happens beneath the surface, especially in the aging body. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is a powerful alkaline substance. It neutralizes acid, which is why it offers such quick relief from indigestion. But while that moment of comfort feels like a solution, the truth is more complicated. In fact, for many seniors, it may be doing more harm than good. As we age, our stomachs naturally produce less acid, not more. That's a little known truth, yet it's central to understanding digestion in later life. The common assumption is that heartburn comes from too much acid, but more often the opposite is true. When stomach acid is too low, food lingers longer than it should. It ferments, causing gas and pressure that push acid up into the esophagus. The result feels like too much acid, but it's actually the wrong acid in the wrong place. This is where baking soda may quietly undermine the body's efforts. By neutralizing what little acid remains, it further weakens digestion. Proteins aren't broken down properly, minerals pass through unabsorbed. And, perhaps most concerning for seniors, a weak digestive system leaves the body more vulnerable to infections, nutritional deficiencies, and chronic fatigue. In trying to ease a symptom, we may be silencing an important signal and allowing a deeper issue to grow unnoticed. There's also the matter of sodium. Baking soda is extremely high in sodium, and for seniors managing high blood pressure, heart disease, or kidney issues, this is no small concern. A seemingly innocent teaspoon of baking soda contains over 200 milliliters of sodium, more than half of what's recommended in an entire day. Regular use can tip the balance and strain systems that are already working harder with age. So does that mean baking soda should never be used? Not necessarily. In acute situations, it may offer temporary comfort, especially when taken sparingly. But as a regular part of health routines, it masks symptoms rather than addresses root causes. The deeper need isn't for less acid, but for balance, for understanding what the body is really asking for. That brings us to the next question, a question more and more seniors are asking. What happens when apple cider vinegar and baking soda are combined together? Is this a balanced remedy, or are we canceling out the benefits of both? What's really going on in the glass and in your gut? The science may surprise you. 3. What really happens when you mix apple cider vinegar and baking soda? It starts as a harmless fizz, the kind of bubbling reaction that brings back memories of school science experiments or baking in the kitchen with grandkids. A spoonful of apple cider vinegar, ACV,
a pinch of baking soda, a splash of water, and suddenly you've created a miniature volcano in a glass. It's fun to watch, and many believe that when combined, these two ingredients become a super drink for better digestion, weight loss, or energy. But for those of us in our later years, the question must go deeper. What is really happening inside the body when we drink this mixture? At first glance, mixing ACV and baking soda seems to make sense. One is acidic, the other alkaline. Together, they create a reaction. Carbon dioxide gas is released, causing that signature fizz, and what's left behind is a neutral solution. That's the key. When acid and base meet in equal amounts, they cancel each other out. And while that may seem balanced on the surface, it raises an important concern. If each ingredient has a distinct purpose on its own, what happens to those benefits once they're neutralized? Apple cider vinegar, as we've seen, supports digestion by enhancing the body's natural acidity, something many seniors lack as they age. It helps break down food, absorb minerals, and defend against harmful bacteria. But when mixed with baking soda, much of that acid is neutralized before it even reaches the stomach. The immediate result? A solution that may be gentler on the esophagus, but far less effective in aiding digestion where it truly matters. Baking soda, on the other hand, is used to reduce acid. It's quick relief for heartburn, not a long-term fix. So when combined with vinegar, it might help tame the sharpness of ACV for those with sensitive stomachs, but it also eliminates the very component, the acetic acid, that makes vinegar therapeutic in the first place. You're essentially taking the active engine out of the car and expecting it to drive. That said, not all benefits vanish. The chemical transformation of vinegar doesn't stop in the glass. As it continues through your digestive system, the acetic acid can still convert into acetate, a short-chain fatty acid that has subtle but meaningful effects on your body. Acetate can feed the healthy bacteria in your gut, support metabolism, and even improve insulin sensitivity. Benefits especially important for seniors managing weight, blood sugar, and energy. Yet we must be cautious. If this mixture is taken with food, the presence of baking soda may interfere with stomach acid just when the body needs it most, during digestion. A neutralized stomach environment can lead to improper digestion, bloating, and nutritional deficiencies over time. Therefore, timing is critical. If seniors choose to drink this combination, it should be done on an empty stomach, at least 30 to 60 minutes before eating, to minimize interference with natural digestive processes. Then there's the emotional layer to consider. Many seniors turn to these home remedies not just for physical symptoms, but for a sense of empowerment, to feel like they're doing something proactive for their health. That motivation is deeply human, and it deserves respect. But empowerment must come with understanding. The body is not a chemistry set, and what we consume should reflect our knowledge, not just our hopes. So where does that leave us? The fizz may look exciting, the relief may feel real, and the routine may seem simple, but the true power lies not in the reaction itself, but in knowing when and how to use these substances properly. Sometimes using each ingredient separately, in the right way and at the right time, is more beneficial than combining them out of habit or trend. And now, with this deeper understanding of what happens when you mix the two, one more question remains, perhaps the most practical of all. How should seniors actually use apple cider vinegar safely and effectively in daily life? What's the best method, dosage, and routine that truly supports aging bodies without the risks? Let's explore that next. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Things seniors need to keep in mind.
With so much advice floating around, online videos, wellness blogs, and stories passed from neighbor to neighbor, it can be difficult to know what truly works, especially when it comes to your health in later life. Apple cider vinegar and baking soda are two of the most talked about natural remedies today. For some, they've become daily habits. But when you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, the choices you make with your body carry greater weight. You've lived enough life to know that quick fixes rarely lead to lasting strength, and that health, like wisdom, is built through understanding. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to medication, to food, and even to natural supplements. The stomach lining thins, the kidneys and liver work more slowly, and systems that once bounced back easily now require more thoughtful care. So before adding something like apple cider vinegar or baking soda to your daily routine, it's important to ask, what does my body actually need? And what are the long-term effects? Apple cider vinegar, when used correctly, can be a gentle ally. A teaspoon or two in a glass of warm water, taken on an empty stomach before meals, may support digestion, help regulate blood sugar, and even curb appetite. But for seniors with acid reflux, ulcers, or a fragile stomach lining, vinegar can sometimes irritate more than it helps, especially if taken undiluted or too often. The key is balance, listening to your body's response and starting slowly. Baking soda, while effective for quick relief from heartburn, carries more risks when used habitually. It contains a high amount of sodium, too much for many seniors managing high blood pressure or heart disease. And by neutralizing stomach acid, it can block the digestion and absorption of vital nutrients like calcium and magnesium, nutrients we need more of, not less, as we age. Used occasionally and with intention, it may have its place, but as a daily habit, it can do more harm than good. Ultimately, no remedy, natural or not, should become a crutch that masks what the body is trying to say. If you're experiencing regular heartburn, bloating, or fatigue after eating, it's worth asking why. Is it what you're eating, how you're eating, or is your body asking for something deeper, something that can't be fixed with fizz in a glass? So, how can you make smart, senior friendly decisions when it comes to using apple cider vinegar safely? How much is too much? Should you use it with meals, before meals, or not at all? And how can you tell if it's truly helping or simply becoming part of a comforting routine? Let's now explore the most practical and safe ways for older adults to use apple cider vinegar, backed by wisdom, not hype.
5. The truth about acid, alkaline, and balance. What seniors must understand about pH and health. In our later years, many of us become more thoughtful about what we put into our bodies. We hear phrases like alkalize your body or acid makes you sick, often from well-meaning friends, magazines, or wellness gurus online. It's easy to be drawn into the idea that we are too acidic and that baking soda or alkaline water is the secret to better health. But the truth is far more nuanced and far more important to understand, especially as we age. The human body is a masterpiece of balance. One of its most tightly regulated systems is pH, the measure of how acidic or alkaline something is. Each part of your body has its own ideal range. Your blood, for example, must stay slightly alkaline between 7.35 and 7.45. If it strays even a little from that range, the body responds immediately using minerals, breathing adjustments, and kidney function to bring things back into balance. This is not something we can control by simply eating alkaline foods or taking baking soda. Your body is already doing that job beautifully and constantly. Here's where the misunderstanding begins. Just because your urine is acidic doesn't mean your body is in danger. In fact, it's a sign that your body is working well. eliminating excess acid as it should. Acid isn't the enemy. Acid in the right place at the right time is absolutely essential. Your stomach must be highly acidic to break down food, absorb nutrients, and protect you from harmful microbes. Without that acid, digestion weakens. So when people take large amounts of baking soda or other alkaline products, thinking they're fixing their pH, they may unknowingly be interfering with a system that's trying its best to do what it was designed to do. For seniors, this truth is even more critical. As the body ages, it becomes less efficient at producing stomach acid. This leads to poor digestion, mineral deficiencies, and even weakened immunity. Ironically, many people with acid reflux, thinking they have too much acid, actually suffer from too little, and yet they're encouraged to take antacids or baking soda, which only worsen the root issue. The key is not to fear acid, but to understand its purpose. The goal is not to become more alkaline, but to support the body's natural rhythm of creating, using, and neutralizing acid where appropriate. It's about restoring function, not fighting the body's wisdom. True wellness in our senior years comes from recognizing that our bodies are intelligent and that balance is not something we impose, but something we nurture. And speaking of nurturing, how exactly can you work with your body, not against it, when using simple remedies like apple cider vinegar? What are the safest and most effective ways to use it to support digestion, energy, and longevity as we age? Let's now uncover the step-by-step guide to using apple cider vinegar wisely and gently, tailored especially for seniors.
Heartfelt advice from a lifetime of experience. After 9 decades of living, observing, and learning, if there's one thing I've come to believe deeply, it's this: the body speaks quietly, but truthfully. As we grow older, the signs become clearer: digestive discomfort, changes in appetite, fatigue after meals, or sleepless nights. These are not just inconveniences, they are gentle messages. And while natural remedies like apple cider vinegar or baking soda may offer short-term relief, the real power lies in understanding what your body is asking for and responding with care, not quick fixes. In our youth, we often chase results: faster, stronger, leaner. But in the golden years, the goal shifts. We seek steadiness. We want to feel comfortable in our own bodies, to enjoy our meals without discomfort, to sleep peacefully, to wake up with clarity and calm. That doesn't come from trendy hacks. It comes from listening deeply and honestly. Apple cider vinegar used wisely can be one of many simple tools to support digestion, blood sugar, and gut health. But it is not magic. It is not a cure. It is most effective when used with awareness, diluted properly, taken at the right time, and observed closely. The same goes for baking soda. While it can calm occasional heartburn, it is not meant to be a daily crutch, especially for those managing high blood pressure or kidney concerns. Too often, we mask symptoms instead of asking why they're there. We chase comfort and lose sight of the bigger picture, that our bodies, even in aging, are wise and capable. But they need our help, our patience, and above all, our respect. So here is my sincere advice to you, from one experienced soul to another. Start small. Trust your instincts. Watch how your body reacts, not just in the moment, but in the days and weeks that follow. Keep a journal if you have to. Talk to your doctor, especially if you're managing chronic conditions or taking medication. And never feel pressured to follow a trend just because it's popular on the internet. You've earned this season of life. You deserve to feel well, not overwhelmed by conflicting information. Let simplicity guide you. Let common sense lead you. And let experience, not hype, shape your health decisions. And remember, health at this stage isn't about perfection. It's about balance, a steady heart, a calm gut, clear thoughts, and the ability to enjoy what truly matters: meals with loved ones, quiet mornings, meaningful moments. So, as you consider whether apple cider vinegar or baking soda has a place in your life, ask yourself not just, will this help? But also, is this helping me live the life I want to live? Because in the end, that is the real measure of health. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.